Long before the modern nation of Iran existed, this land was the heart of one of the most powerful civilizations the world had ever known. Empires rose from its deserts. Kings ruled with absolute authority, and sacred fires burned day and night in temples across the land. This was the age of ancient Persia, a civilization of warriors, scholars, and kings who believed their empire would last forever. But like all great empires, its story would eventually lead to a dramatic fall. In the 3rd century, a powerful dynasty rose to rule Persia. This dynasty would become known as the Sassanian Empire. Stretching across vast deserts and fertile valleys, the empire controlled important trade routes connecting Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Its cities grew rich from commerce. Its armies became feared across the ancient world. Persia was no longer just a kingdom, it had become a superpower. At the heart of the empire stood a magnificent capital city, Ctesiphon. Here, massive palaces towered over the landscape. Merchants from distant lands filled its markets. Caravans carrying silk, spices, and precious metals passed through its gates every day.
The hour of decision is upon us. Let the realms be united under one banner.
The city symbolized the wealth and power of the Persian Empire. But within its palace walls lived the man who ruled it all. The ruler of Persia held a title unlike any other. He was called Shahanshah, the King of Kings. From his golden throne, he commanded armies, appointed governors, and controlled the fate of millions. To many of his people, the king was more than just a ruler. He was believed to be chosen by heaven. When subjects approached the throne, they bowed low before him. Because in Persia, the king stood above all.
Let the sacred fire guide our spirits. We offer these fruits in gratitude. May our bonds be strengthened.
Sacred temples, eternal flames burned day and night. These fires symbolized truth, purity, and the presence of divine power. Priests carefully guarded the flames, performing rituals that had been practiced for centuries. Farmers worked the fertile lands. Merchants traveled dangerous trade routes. Soldiers trained to defend the empire's borders. Persian society was carefully organized into different classes. Priests, warriors, scholars, and workers each had their place. And together, they kept the great Persian Empire running. At its height, Persia experienced a remarkable period of prosperity. One of its greatest rulers was Khosrow I. Under his leadership, the empire became stronger, wealthier, and more organized. He reformed the tax system, strengthened the military, and encouraged learning. Trade flourished along the Silk Road. But no great empire exists without rivals. For centuries, Persia fought brutal wars against its greatest enemy, the powerful Roman Empire. Massive armies clashed across deserts, mountains, and ancient cities. Victories were won, and then lost again. These wars drained the wealth of both empires, and slowly, the strength of Persia began to weaken. Years of conflict brought heavy consequences. Taxes increased, political conflicts grew, and ordinary people struggled to survive. The once powerful empire began to fracture from within. Weak rulers replaced strong ones. Corruption spread through the government. The mighty Persian Empire was no longer as stable as it once seemed. And far beyond its southern deserts, a new force was beginning to rise. In the deserts of Arabia, a new religion had emerged. It was called Islam. Inspired by its message, Arab armies began expanding beyond their homeland. They moved northward toward the lands of Persia. At first, the Persians underestimated this new power, but soon they would face a challenge unlike anything before. The fate of the Persian Empire would be decided on the battlefield. One of the most important clashes occurred at the Battle of al-Qadisiyyah. Here, Persian forces faced the rapidly advancing Arab armies. The battle was fierce and chaotic. But when the dust settled, the Persian army had suffered a devastating defeat. It marked the beginning of the end. The final ruler of the Sassanian dynasty was Yazdegerd III. As enemy forces advanced, he fled from city to city, desperately trying to save his empire. But the once powerful Persian kingdom was collapsing around him. Cities fell. Although the empire had fallen, Persia itself did not disappear. Its culture, language, and traditions continued to thrive under new rulers. Over time, Persian civilization blended with Islamic culture. This fusion created a new and powerful identity that would shape the future of the region. Today, the modern nation of Iran still carries the legacy of this ancient civilization. From ruined palaces to ancient fire temples, the echoes of Persia's past remain. Empires may rise and fall, but their stories continue to shape the world long after their kings are gone.